All right, so we are now started. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start. This is an episode of In Divide here. We with Upside Finance, another up and coming project on the Algorand network. We're here with Nishant, and we are glad to just introduce him. I'm glad and I'm excited for this project.
Hey, so I'm Nishant. I am working on Upside Finance along with Tejas right now. Um, and yeah, we are building Algorand's lossless lottery and token distribution platform. We have been working on this since November, sometime November last year. And so far, we have done Algorand's accelerator program. We have graduated from it, and yeah, we are talking with projects on Algorand so that we can partner up and expand our reach.
Okay. So what brought you to Algorand? Have you tried other networks or what made Algorand something that a blockchain that you like we pinpointed on?
Yeah, so previously we have worked on Stella. We have developed on the Fluence network, and we have done some projects on Ethereum as well. Um, and by we, I mean Tejas and I. And well, eventually we just stumbled across Algorand. I mean, Algorand has a really small community, right? Like, just for an example, the total lent on AlgoFi is about 94.9 million US dollars, and total borrowed is like 48.5 million US dollars. Compared to that, Ethereum, like Compound app on Ethereum, it has like a total length on of about 10.7 billion US dollars and total borrowed of like 3.8 billion US dollars. These figures were from a few weeks back. So we thought like Algorand had that kind of potential to grow like, 100x or something. Um, so that's why we decided to build on Algorand. Another reason would be like Ethereum is kind of saturated. Like it's really difficult to get noticed with any project. So you have to work like really, really hard. We don't have that kind of resources at the moment to market it as hard. We just thought, Algorand would be a place where we can get noticed more easily, and that has been true so far. Like, yeah, on this podcast, right? And we have been in touch with several of the co-founders of different projects, and it's really easy to get hold of them. Um, and I don't think that would have been possible for other blockchains where the community is like 10 or 100 times that of Algorand.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, that's good to hear. There's and definitely positive in a growing network like Algorand, especially some of the new state proof and Falcon keys where they're trying to make it where they're operational with the EVM of Ethereum. So it's something that even though you build this, you still may be able to tap into some of the liquidity in the Ethereum network, which makes it a very good proposition, especially for um, a project like yours. If you can get some liquidity off of another network because of the cross-chain operability. But I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you this question too, because we in Algorand had a lottery through Yearly, but that lottery has ended. So I wanted to know the lottery that you're doing, kind of what made you do it, kind of explain it a little bit to the audience.
So we originally started off as an open source or like with an open-minded approach to this project where people would be able to see the transactions because right now on several of these apps you can yeah, like on Yearly for example you cannot see those transactions, so it's not exactly transparent, and we wanted to achieve that, and that's how we basically started. Over a period of time, we had a look at AlgoFi and Folks Finance. And back then, like up until a few months back, they didn't really have a JavaScript SDK, and you couldn't really connect to those platforms. So it is kind of reasonable to say that probably Yale didn't have those kind of resources to connect. I may be wrong there. But right now, it's more easy to connect to these platforms, especially in the last uh, couple of weeks when where Folks Finance has launched on the mainnet, and you can interact using their SDKs. And same goes with AlgoFi. So, well, I mean, like probably Yale didn't have the resources, or they just had to take a different approach to the same, lossless lottery app. Um, we kind of came in a bit later, and then we have had different resources at hand, like probably more than what they had. Um, Even the blockchain, like like Algorand upgraded, and now you can connect smart contracts. So yeah, yeah, it's like the ecosystem has grown so much that we felt we feel that now is probably a better time to build a lossless lottery.
I think you gotta. That's a good message, because sometimes if you're good enough, when somebody comes in and is the first, sometimes you can actually learn from the mistakes and improve on what they've done based on technology and things that maybe didn't work that well with them. So sometimes you coming in with a better direction could definitely help the project also. Well, another reason I decided to do these interviews and stuff, there's a thing with Algorand where I want to make sure the projects in our community that's good and worthy to should be supported by Algorand, they start to have comfortability, because there's been a couple of rug pulls, and Anoram was one recent, and you get into the community and everybody's uproar. And one of the things that could really sour people is that to lose faith in the projects that are coming out. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure the projects that's coming out, if we can kind of get to know the people, people who are really trying to move their project, they will give information, they will give us some assurance, and to a community, and therefore have the community embrace them even more. And kind of what's your I guess your mindset or your strategy for your initial launch, knowing that some of the headwinds that you may find, that people are apprehensive because people are like, this a rug pull, and you got people that's FOMOing, and you got people just fear everything's a rug pull to them now. So how do you think you're going to be able to deal with that?
So, like this podcast is one of the steps, right? Like you need to be open to your audience. Like some people do prefer staying anonymous, but then that's also kind of like question. People think about it, right? Like why are these guys staying anonymous? Like for whatever reason, and we didn't really want to do that. Like we wanted our audience and our community members to know that there's a person behind this project. We have like this person has support and experience working on different projects. Staying anonymous has its benefits, and like you have had like several good projects on Ethereum that were created by anonymous creators like Sushi Swap, if I'm not wrong. Um, and well, it's like probably not the best idea at the moment, given Algorand has seen, like you said, several rug pulls. I've been following the Reddit as well, and people are just like they're sad, man. Like you don't want people to, have that kind of an attitude. The other thing that we are trying to do is not launch our token or like, yeah, not launch our token anytime soon. I mean, people have asked us if we want to launch a token anytime in the next few weeks, or like even back in January or like Feb. I think we have had those kinds of questions where people wanted us to launch a token, and we were like, we want to make this product a bit more mature. Like, um, we want to make people start using this product, and let it gain some reputation before we do like a public listing or whatever. Because yeah, man, like I've seen some communities where people just pump the tokens and then it just goes up, and then the next day it's like it's crashing down. It creates a distrust in the project,
Yeah.
even when the project is like it might be really good. The creator's intention may have been like really good, but yeah, once you give those tokens, like when you distribute those tokens to the community, like people do want to make money, right? And that's completely
Yeah.
fair. But
Yeah.
then at the same time, they end up hurting people, which is not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that where there's been many where you had the idea, okay, well, we can use that token to fund this, but what happens is that initial funding give you a nice bump, but then the liquidity goes away after the initial, and it looks like a rug pull to everybody because it just fell down because there was no use for the thing besides to get funding. So it was nothing really to hold it up. And projects kind of died because now the bad word is going around that this is nothing, it's not unfair. And there's one thing I've learned from Twitter: sometimes people ain't got nothing to do to spread bad news. So I understand. I think your approach is a very good approach, a mature approach, pragmatic approach that sometimes you need in this space. What about your roadmap? When are you gonna introduce the roadmap to the project?
So we initially had that roadmap put up, like up until a few weeks back on Discord, but then we got rid of it because we realized that we realized that we had kind of matured a bit more. Like our initial roadmap was based on our initial like assumptions back then, and then from then on, the project has grown quite a lot. We had a focus um, on staking as well. Like we wanted to do some staking as well, but eventually we moved, and then we're just focusing on gamification of savings and token distribution. So yeah, we have an internal roadmap. We have a white paper as well internally, but we don't think we are ready yet. And we are kind of sharing that with our investors. We don't think that we would be sharing it with the community anytime in the next few weeks at least. Uh, I'd say soon, but not in the next 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay, well, that's that definitely makes sense, because once you start telling people dates and stuff, once you go past that date, what happened? What you doing? And, you open yourself up to these questions. Like, are you lying? And people are very
Yeah.
aggressive in these spaces on the Discord. And I actually just recently created my Discord where I'm on there quite often, and it's almost a Twitter space to me. It's not as bad, but it's that one person that keep asking you questions, that didn't read the thing that you put the announcement. You didn't won't read anything, like nothing comprehends. They got to ask you, how did you do this? What did you say? This doesn't work. Did you read it? Oh no. And it's
Yeah.
so you definitely have to deal with that. So with that, um, how long you and I guess the team have been kind of working in this space together?
So Tejas and I have a combined experience of over 3 years in the blockchain space. I'd say close to four, but yeah. We have been working on blockchain specific projects for the last 1.5 years, like the two of us together. And yeah, in that period, we have done several workshops for Solidity. Um, so yeah, that's the, and then we have developed some projects on Algorand as well as Ethereum and Fluence, of course. So we are programmed on using different languages. Like right now, we are using Reach for Upside Finance, um, and having that experience on different blockchains, it gives you an advantage because you start understanding the smart contracts even better. Like coding the backend is one thing, but then coding a smart contract, like it's not just coding. You need to understand how the blockchains work as well. And for someone who is new to the space, it's really difficult to get hold of that. Like we were trying to onboard one of our friends, and basically we had to ask them to, you know, learn Solidity and then get hang of the basics of a smart contract before jumping on to Reach. Reach is pretty similar to it has its similarity with JavaScript, um, and so you can grasp its syntax a bit more easily. But it's important to learn the basics of the smart contracts in general. So that experience, like the combined experience of like 3+ years, it has helped us see the blockchain space in different perspectives. Like I come from a design background, and Tejas comes from a purely technical background, and both of our experience, like with both of our experience, we can see the same thing in different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but we have found that pretty useful. Like, if there's a certain problem that we need to tackle, I will look at it from a design perspective, from UX perspective, while they just looks at it from technical perspective. And that has worked really well so far for us. Yeah, hope that answers your question, though.
Yeah, it definitely in a technical way. I understand that. Well, we want to thank you for giving us this time. I do want to ask you that, as the projects continues to move forward, you know, I will be giving updates. Hopefully, I will be still in the Discord. So, like I said, I want to, participate in making sure, the project it gets out there. I do think we would love another lossless lottery, a lottery on Algorand. That's one of the things that got me into it on Yieldly. I think it's a good on-ramp for a lot of people. So like I said, I really would like to encourage people to get some hype around the upside finances, so we can, like I said, have another onboarding thing for Algorand as a project. So I just thank you for being here. I thank you for giving me some time, and I wish the project much success. And I just thank you for the time. So
Thanks for your time, man. Really appreciate you reaching out to me and just having this chat. I think it goes both ways. Like we want to reach out to as many people as possible, and which is also why I was excited to do this interview. Unfortunately, like a couple of weeks back, I just felt sick, and we had to postpone that. So
that's
I'm
fine.
glad we this time.
That's fine. That's fine. But like I said, I will be, hopefully seeing you. I do participate. I look to participate in some of the conferences that is going to be coming up. So hopefully I'll see you on the pass by or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Chat.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Have a good